And I was there for a half a year, and then after a half a year, March 12th, I believe, March 12th of 2019, I drafted to the Army. I did get the job I wanted. I got commander for basic training, which basically what it means is that I had 2.5 months of basic training, and then I had 2.5 months of commander's course. Now, basic training is usually, it depends what level you need to do. It starts with the lowest level, which is a month, and then level, each level of basic training, like it's longer and longer. It depends of your, like what job you do. That depends like what basic training you do. So I had to do, it's called like number 3. So it was 2.5 months. And so I did 2.5 months of basic training. And then after I finished, I did 2.5 months of commander's course, which basically in the course, they teach us mostly about like all the tactics, how to teach a lesson and how to do that, and how to give the right punishments, what's the rights. Like, for example, like as a commander, I have to give them 3 breaks a day. Each break, it has to be 30 minutes. Like if I don't do that, like I can, like something bad can happen to me. Like there are certain rules I have to keep. And for example, like in the morning when I open them, like first of all, everything, like I open time, like nothing is like just like here, eat. Like I have to open them time for that. And let's say in the morning, I have to give them 35 minutes. During lunchtime, I have to give them 45 minutes. During dinner, it's 35 minutes. Like there are certain times like I have to give, and I can give more, but I can't give less. And even like for someone who wants to daven, like there's certain times that I have to open with them, so they can daven. They can't just daven like hour and a half. Like it doesn't work that way. So basically, when I finished commander's course, the whole situation, like basic training and commander's course, it took 5 months. After 5 months, how it works, you become officially a commander, and you go, like they can put you in different places. So I was on a base called Nitzanim. It's right by Ashkelon, like whoever knows, like has heard of the place. And it's in the south of Israel. And I was there for 6 months. I opened 4 different basic training. Now, because I did like basic training, that's number 3, it means that I, as a commander, I do basic training for other soldiers, and I do the number 2 for them. Basically, I'm always one level higher than the people I'm going to teach. So that's why I had to do number 3 in order to teach them like the number 2. And like the basic training that's level number 2, it's only like 3 weeks to a month. So I did 4 of those, and they're really hard because the type of soldiers who come to me are the more problematic type, who can get to good units because of like all these reasons, like family problems, or it can be just many different reasons. Or it could be just a lot of girls who like are not doing combat, and they come to me, and basically I just do basic training for a month. I don't do a course. After they're done by me, they go to a different course depending on their job. So I did 4 of those, and then I decided that I wanted to do something a bit more meaningful. Like after I did that, and I got accepted to be a commander in the commander's course. So today I'm a commander in the commander's course, which is a 5 months process. I'm doing the basic training with them for 2.5 months, and then I'm doing the course for 2.5 months, and I basically get to see all these soldiers, that they start like soldiers, and then I basically like leave them when they're done as commanders, and that's basically like where I'm up to, like in my stage in life. And yeah, that's where I am right now. Obviously there's like a lot of like hard periods of times, like all these, like it's just hard in general. Like you don't get any sleep, like you have to work. Sorry, they're just calling me. But at the end, it's all worth it, and yeah, that's where I am right now.
Okay, before I take questions, I want to just show some pictures, and you could tell us what we're looking at.
Yeah, 1 second, I just have to.
No, you're in the
leave
Army.
the
You do
chat
you.
for a second.
Maybe Aaron can tell us what we're looking at. Let's go to Iran for a moment. And he could tell us. Iran, what's it like as a parent having a child in the
Yeah.
Tzava?
Oh my God. Not again.
No.
No. No.
It's not easy to not to see your child for like for the whole year, or even now that we're here, we still don't see her a lot. But before the corona, Amit came home like once every 2 weeks, more or less. But now, since the corona, we haven't seen her like in 5 weeks. Then she got a free Shabbat, so she came. It's a lot of worries, and it she needs sometimes moral support. Sometimes when not everything going as she planned, so as she thinks it should be, it's it's good that we're here so we can support her and be there for her.
Are you ever
Salam.
scared?
Scared? You scared her?
No.
No.
Did you guys serve in the army?
Only me.
Eran was in the army. I did shirut laumi.
Got it. Okay, so Amit is back. I mean, I was just also asking your parents some questions of like, what's it like
Yeah.
having a child in the army and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I just want to
really.
show some pictures and you tell me, and then students start thinking of questions. So where's this at?
The left one.
Yeah.
So that's at my actually like last group of soldiers I had before I got here, and that's like at the end of the ceremony. Basically, you have to swear in into the army, and nothing. They just stand behind me. I stand in front of them, and then I call them up one by their names. Like they have to like answer me, and they just go. They swear in, and that's basically it.
Here's just, where are you here in this picture?
In the commander's course, there's 1 week during the course time where you have to you basically go to all these places that are like a bit more dangerous, and like just they need soldiers like to like be there just to make sure that like everything's okay and like patrol and all. So you do a week there, and so I was in this small place near Jerusalem, and yeah, it was like it's a very hard week because it's you you do like patrols for 4 hours, and then you go to sleep for 4 hours, and then you do them again for 4 hours, and then you go to sleep for 4 hours.
Wow.
So it's
Oh my
hard.
gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to go through all. Here is just some other pictures. I guess this is shoot like your train. Is this you in the middle here?
Yeah, that's me training them, and then on the right is me shooting.
Wow. Okay. Who's this like bald man? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So the left one is just another one. Like every time the soldiers swear in, they always choose like one commander who they think like just was like I guess good. And my third one, like they chose me, so
Oh.
that's why I was up there. And then on the right picture is at the end of the at the end of the 5 months course, like the whole commander's course and the basic training. There's like this really big it's like a really big event where like as you guys can see, there's like 2 lines on my hand. Like that's something as a soldier in basic training and the course like you don't have. That's something you only get once you become a commander. And also the green string is something you only get once you become a commander. And so at the very last ceremony, that's when my parents surprised me. And so that's just a picture when I haven't seen them for a while. Then they surprised me
Wow.
on stage.
I think I remember that when you like
Yeah,
randomly
there's a
went to
video.
school. Lunch
Yeah.
wasn't as good that day. No, I'm just
For sure.
kidding. Here. Oh, so here's
That's
you're green. This is you becoming a commander?
yeah, and you can see that the 2 lines are closed, and then that's when they come and they open like my shirt. Like there's just like a bobby pin, and they open my shirt, and then like you see like the 2 lines.
Okay. I'm shooting.
That's
She's got her
shooting, and that's just
picture.
like yeah, and that's just like me. Like you have to like also like you have to like just like it's just called shmira. You have to just like keep on base, and like there's like all these places you have to be, and yeah.
I'm shooting. And this is you showing
Yeah.
off at your commander.
Yeah, that's when we got it. Like you have to every time you get something, like let's say like that black like it's I don't know how you call it, like the beret, I guess you
Yeah,
could say.
exactly. The beret.
Like every time you like get one of like something, you have to like basically like work for it. So like the first thing we got is like a unit, like a tag unit. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
You have to get a tag unit, so you walk, run, whatever it is, like 3 kilometers. The second thing we got is for the beret, we get the little pin, like this pin, and that was like 5 kilometers. And then the actual beret, it was like 7 kilometers. And like it's always until like we got up until 10 kilometers. So that was like my last one when it was 10 kilometers.
Got it.
Yeah.
Are you able to, okay, so let's stop sharing for a moment. Okay. Does anyone have questions? And you can, I guess you could put in the chat if you're not comfortable me spotlighting you, or if it's obviously, I think it would be better if you are able to be spotlighted. So I'll just start with one question. Where are you right now?
I'm in my room. It's the only quiet place in this whole base because everyone's busy, and it's still like now we're doing the transition between Yom HaZikaron and Yom Ha'atzmaut, and as soldiers, like that transition is like really a big deal. And because like one day you're wearing the madim, like the clothes that the soldiers who have died in wars, like wearing the same clothes that they were when they passed away. And then the next day, like you're you're wearing the same clothes that the same people wore when they like won this place for us, and like because of them we're here. So like it's just like as a soldier, it's like very important. It's like a very big deal. And like I could even say like I'm happy that I'm on base and not at home. Like I think it's like better because like when you're a soldier and you're like wearing this uniform and like everything, like it's just more meaningful. So that's why I'm in my room, because it's just quiet here.
Got it. And you share a room or it's your own room?
No, we share. It's like 8 girls in a room.
Oh, wow. Can you show us what it looks like? Like flip your screen? Or it's
Yeah,
really
it's just
messy. You
really,
don't want to.
it's
Don't show us. You
really
don't have to.
messy. It's
Okay.
really messy.
I'm going to give you a
Yeah,
student, Yehuda Siegel, who's going to ask a
Yeah.
question. I'm going to spotlight him.
Of course. Of course.
So for you this year, this past Yom HaZikaron, did it feel a lot different being a soldier this time? Or were you all, like, before you were a soldier, there was probably a different emotion. So now, as a soldier in Sahel, how does it feel compared to it was before?
So actually, this Yom HaZikaron is my second time. The first time was last year, and I could say that last year when it was like my first time, I like really remember the day. Actually, because of like the whole like Corona situation, like we're on base, but usually what soldiers do, they send us to different cemeteries where soldiers who have passed away and they don't actually have any like family members who like can come and like be with them on this like special day, or it's just like anyone that has like any problems like that. So I during like my first Yom HaZikaron, I got to stand like next to someone's like grave, and like actually like no one was there like of his family, and like people came and like we had to like really study like the person and like everything, so when people come by, like we we can talk about them and feel like they're still being remembered. So I remember doing that, and it's like it's a whole different feeling. It's like one big family, like we're all trying to like just be there one for another, and we're all trying to make people feel as comfortable as possible on this like day where like it's it's such like a terrible thing that we even have this day, but it is a situation, and that's where we live, and this is a situation like we live in. And so like if I'm a soldier and I can make like one soldier's life like a little bit more memorable, and like someone can know like like just another soldier's name, then like why not? And like I think it's just like it's a different feeling that like no one, like I can't even explain it to you, like wearing this uniform, like until like I think until like the like let's say my soldiers, it's their first time like being on like in this uniform during Yom HaZikaron, and like I can see it in their eyes. Like it's weird, it's like uncomfortable, and you don't know what to do with yourself. But in the same time, it's like the best day of their lives, because all of a sudden they feel like a little bit more meaningful, and they feel different. So it's something that you can't really like explain, but like it's just like this feeling inside where it's like the best feeling ever.
Thank you. And we have another question, Lila Hoff.
How has like the coronavirus affected everything?
It's really been affecting. It's really hard. Let's say like I closed on base. Like closed on base means like how long I've been on base. I've been on base for 30 days, and then they let me out for one Shabbat, and then I had to come back, and now it's like unknown, and I've been here already for a week and a half, and like it's just like an unknown situation. Like you don't really know when you get to go home, so that affects like the whole like going home situation. Like on base, it's really hard. Like let's say like going to the into the lunchroom, and I have to take my soldiers. Like it's this whole big deal, because only like 100 people can sit there, and so until like I'm not gonna like tell a soldier to get up and leave because they're not done eating, and like I'm not just gonna do that. So I have to wait outside with my soldiers until they're done eating, until it's just like really hard throughout the day. And like even like classes, like we used to be able to do classes of 40 people in one room. Like that's it, no more. Like classes are only outside, and there's like 2 feet apart between like every chair, and like it's very complicated, and it's hot, so like no one's like really paying attention, and it's been really hard. I think my base especially is like handling it well as much as possible, but the situation is not easy.
Okay. Can you think of a favorite moment in your experience so far? Like an anecdote or something that was like, yes, I'm doing this because of this.
I think it's a tough one.
I know.
I think that just like when like I'm like not now, but like when I did like the 4 different groups like in the beginning of my service, like when I first was a commander, at the end of each one, like always like the night before like they leave, like you always like sit down with like your tsevet, which is usually like 10 people, like 10 soldiers, 12 soldiers, and like you sit with them and you say like 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 something along the lines like I had a good time, like it was like this, it was that, and then they always say something like to you back, and like the things you hear about yourself at the end, and you just know you did a good job and you did the right thing, and like you hear the things like they say, and like they even keep in touch with you, and they still text you when they are in trouble, or like something happened, and like they need like that commander person, and like they need me, and just like I always just like at the end, and like the thing like that at the end of the day, no matter how hard it was, like that they did appreciate me and everything I did for them. And yeah.
How many more years you have for your service?
I have 10 months left.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that will be a total of 3. How long?
2 years for
2
us.
years. And then what's next?
I don't know yet. I might sign on more, might not. We'll see.
Do your parents know that?
I think so.
No kidding. Aaron or Karen, do you have a question for Amit?
They don't share enough.
What?
Do you have a question for Amit?
Question? Oh my God. Thank God this make a Zoom. I can see a
Yeah, this way you can have a proper heart-to-heart with your daughter. I didn't like.
No, everything is fine. Thank you.
You're good. Amit, before we go, what was it like to get permission right now to have this talk?
Really hard. Like, I obviously had to like explain the situation, why like it was important for me. But sometimes they let, sometimes they didn't. That's why it was also like I got back to you. Like I only like we only know like a couple of days before each day, like what's gonna be on that day. So it's very hard. but yeah, no, they understand. They like also at the end of the day, like they understand that like it's not just like, hey, let me like share my story. It's like more than that, and like for people to like start it to like start to understand like what it means to be a soldier in the army and like just like that whole situation.
Okay, we're gonna have one more question and then we're gonna say goodbye to Amit. Yehuda, last question.
So as a commander, doing the basic training, I think you said this already, but I don't remember. How long is each sort of, I don't know, course or session or a
Each
time?
basic
Training.
training.
Sorry.
Each basic training.
Yeah.
So when I was a commander and I was teaching like the basic training level 2, it was from 3 weeks to a month, like something along those lines. And now I'm teaching, because I'm a commander in the commander's course, I'm teaching basic training level 3. So that's 2.5 months.
Amit,
And
thank
did
you.
it feel good
Yeah,
to move
sorry.
on, or was it kind of emotional?
Say again?
Did it feel good to move on to the next course and next level, or was it kind of emotional because you kind of got used to what happened before, because of the basic, or did you miss the basic training? Sorry.
I think that just I realized after after 4 basic trainings, like I did 4 groups. After I did 4, that like I realized like I was ready for more, and I was ready for something a bit more challenging for me, and I was ready just also to challenge the soldiers that are in front of me. Like you have to remember that the soldiers who come to me and their level is like basic training 2. It's like soldiers again, like let's say if I get boys, like they're soldiers who can't go to combat, like they either can't physically, they can't like mentally sometimes, they have issues at home, like all these, or like it's girls who don't want to do combat, which is like most girls. And so it's like these types of people where like yeah, you think like you're affecting their lives, and maybe that's what they say at the end, but like for the long run, like they just do my basic training for a month, they go to their course and they go into like their real army service. So like I was just ready for something a bit more meaningful, and I wanted to like make a difference a bit more. And so with my soldiers today, like I have 9 soldiers in my group, and like it's so different, like it's different, like how like everything is different, like the feelings, like how they talk to me, how I act, like they know they're about to become commanders also, like even if it's in 4 months, like they want to be here, they want to learn. So yeah.
Amit, thank you so much for, like you explained earlier, how hard it is to carve out this time and to speak to our 8th grade students. If you could just send off a message to them as like remembering when you were in 8th grade, and like, I don't know, just something inspiring. Coronavirus sucks and they're stuck at home. Just, I don't know, something inspiring to lead us into Yom Ha'atzmaut tonight. What would you say? Remember
I
when you were in
think
8th grade.
yeah, trying to remember, so long ago. I don't know, I think just like when like in 8th grade we're just all like I don't know how to explain it, like obviously like the whole corona situation sucks, and like the situation sucks, and like it's confusing because like you don't know if you're like home or at school, or like when you're at home like you still have school, like as like what I've heard. And the situation is not easy, but I think like always like in the back of your mind, like remember that like it's annoying to hear, but like there's always like worse things happening, and like maybe the situation like hasn't hit someone like or like or the situation not even corona, like it can be like even from the little things like like the things that happen in Israel, like from the day-to-day basis, and the things that like we have to deal with. And just like always to remember, I don't know, like it's like always to remember, like take a one step at a time, one day at a time, and like also just like dream big. Like I remember being in 8th grade, and like you think that like, oh, like I'm about to go to like high school. Like high school is like where it is. Like make like good life decisions. Like think big. Like you want something. Like go for it. Like dream for it. Like where I got to where I got to today. Like I wouldn't have gotten here without a fight and without like a big dream. And I just think like even though like you guys are just 8th graders, like you guys have a lot left to go, and just keep dreaming and keep fighting. And I think something about like Yom Ha'atzmaut and like I think the most important, like a lot of people say that like the transition between Yom HaZikaron to Yom HaTzmaut is like it's sad because like how do you transition? Like like there are certain families who like don't know how to deal with it because one day they're mourning, let's say their son, and the next day they have to celebrate Israel. But I don't know. In my eyes, I think it's beautiful because at the same time, like you mourn like let's say your son, then you could at the same time you have the like you have the right to say like my son fell for this country and he fought for this country, and at the end of the day like depends how you look at it, but if you look at it more in like through the more beautiful perspective, then you can see it in that way. And I think that like everyone should just be very thankful that like everyone's home safe and like you're with your families, and that we're celebrating Israel, and like we're gonna keep celebrating and we're gonna keep fighting Israel. And yeah.
Amit, thank you so much. We have such appreciation for you for speaking to us. Before I just want to spotlight your parents again. Hi, more Karen. I really miss you guys so much. I can't. Who thought I'd be like, oh my God, I'm missing Iran, but I am. And
You're missing Iran or his food, Adina?
no, I miss him. I need him to keep making fun of me, and I'm missing it. Like, I don't know.
Adina,
I was
don't
actually
worry.
wondering if you could make a menu plan for my family. Like maybe that could be something you offer.
Adina,
I'm like, what do I make for lunch every day? I can't do it.
Just text Iran, he'll send you.
Adina, don't worry. Next week, you know, it's Richmond.
Oh, exactly. That's a sore point for our 8th graders, so we're not going to go down that path. But Amit, thank you again. Thank whoever's in charge of letting you talk. Thank that person for us. And I'm just going to keep it open. I'm not going to end it right away, but if you need to leave, that's okay. And toda rabba.